the other live wasn't working for me. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to cancel that one. So, how is everybody who is or is not here? I don't suspect that there are many people that will be here, because if you're coming, you might be on the other live, which I'm just trying to cancel. Whoops, and the microphone's over there. Now you might be able to hear me better. Oh dear, this is a living nightmare. I really do hate doing this stuff. Yeah, come on. Hello, hello. If anyone happens to be here, howdy, howdy. Okay, so this one is going to be deleted forever. Oh dear. Okay. That's better. Oh dear. Nope, that's not going to work either. Life should be a little bit more easy than this. It really should. This shouldn't be so hard to be able to go live. But anyway, hopefully no one's here yet anyway to see the mess up. With any luck. Nope. Where is it? Nope. Oh, it's just impossible. Oh dear, dear, dear. I really need some lessons on this stuff. I really do. Nope. Let's have a look. Nope. I don't know what's going on. Right, well, I can't see chat, so if you're here, hello. If you're not here, well, I'm not saying hello to you because you're not here, until I can figure out how I can find my own chat, because it's not letting me. So it's not, no, still not letting me watch it. How do I get to watch it? It says I'm live. Okay, alright, I'll try this. Yes, I worked it out. Took me long enough though. So, hello, hello. No, good. Thank goodness no one's here. So, that's good. Now what am I going to do? Okay, I just got to wait for chat to show up. Oh, if indeed it wants to. Okay, I'm just going to get back onto this. This is actually a all-in-one granny square yarn I'm using to make a baby blanket in half double crochets, and it seems to be pooling quite nicely, so I'm quite happy with that. Okay, maybe I should go to the other chat. Oh, can't, I've deleted it. Yeah, okay. Yep. Hopefully people will find me soon enough. If they don't, well, I'll just have a lovely time sitting here crocheting my new baby blanket. And, you know, when people show up, I will be able to brag about my newfound talent, which I was pretty pleasantly surprised to discover I had. But yeah, it's pooling quite nicely to a degree. So, oh dear. VJ has got family at the moment, I believe, and she's hang on. That's silly, isn't it? Okay, okay. I think I've finally done it. I don't know. No. Oh dear, do I have to do it on here? Okay. That might have worked now. I might actually be live now. Last time I'm using that service. Oh dear. Such confusion. Oh, this hopefully, maybe now people can see me, they can come in. Because that was an annoying thing. Howdy, howdy, anybody? Hopefully now I am here. No, why is that still saying I'm unlisted? Oh, this is giving me a headache. Okay. All right. What a nightmare. Hello. I am here, finally. I've done all sorts of stupid things. I didn't list it, then it was unlisted, then it was private. Yeah, some people shouldn't be allowed to use YouTube. I think I'm one of them. Anyway, good morning. It is almost 6 a.m. here in Australia, and it is nice and cold, which I love. Just the way I love it. Really, really chilly. Oh dear. So, I'm going to start crocheting away with this and just see what happens. VJ usually goes live at this time and shows all the FOs for the week. But what I thought I'd do is keep her spot warm and just jump on and do, you know, what's that say up there? Okay. I'm just looking at the tiny print on my phone and hoping that I can read it. But, yeah. Anyway, so I thought I'd keep VJ's spot warm. And hopefully maybe some of her usual people will come in and visit me instead. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm using Granny, what is it, Red Heart All-in-One Granny to do this baby blanket. And it's pooling quite interestingly in stripes, which I think looks quite nice. But, yeah. So, using my new hook, using my new O-Fire hook, 7mm, and it's all purple. Just a matte one But I think I like this better than I like the furls, because there's a little ridge here that you can probably see in the light, and that's just enough to stop my thumb from slipping when I'm working, so that's good. I should probably share this. Now let's turn that off. Delete that post. And put up this one. That'll be better. That'll be a bit better. Yep, that'll do. Oh dear. So, what's everyone up to, if anyone's here? I might be talking to myself, but that's perfectly okay. Dear. Because I had a bit of a bumpy start today. Bit of a bumpy start to trying to get this live on. I just sort of back that up a little bit so I don't need it in my face. So, oh dear. So I'm using this here. I got this as a mill end. It's actually the Red Heart Granny Square yarn, but I'm just using it going back and forth on this blanket, and because I just balled it up like that, and it's come out quite well. It's coming out in stripes, which is interesting. So, oh dear. And I've got some bragging to do too. But a certain granny square that I created using the Red Heart all-in-one granny square. I actually did it. First time, second time. I actually did it straight off. I'm putting up a video. I don't know whether it's later today or when I've got it scheduled for, but I'm putting out a video showing how I did it. It's uncut. There is music, there's no talking, and the reason for that is because when I was doing the video, I was just messing around. I wanted to see if I could actually do the all-in-one granny square, and so I wasn't expecting to actually have any success, because every person I've ever seen never has any success with it. So I just thought, oh no, I'll just play around with this while I'm listening to true crime. And I did 2 rounds, and they worked, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I thought, well, hang on, I won't go any further. I'll unravel it and I'll record it. Not expecting any sort of major ongoing success. And then, yeah, I did have ongoing success. So, yeah. And, I got that done. But the video, like I say, it's uncut, no talking, because of, the background noise that I would have had. And there is music, but it's AI music that I created for my channel. But it only took me 17 minutes. I don't know whether that's a short amount of time or a long amount of time for a granny square. But I didn't do the granny square according to the instructions that come in the ball band. I did them sort of pretty much my own way to see how that would work out. And it did work out, so that was good. I'm wearing my big hexie cardi that I made years ago with scraps. And it really is very scrappy, as you can tell. There's no colour coordination there at all, but it is nice and warm because it is getting cooler here now. So oh, what am I doing? I'm just looking for something. I'm tired. I'm going to start yawning, and that'll put everyone else to sleep, which is not my intention. Okay. There we are. Hi Lisa, how are you? We missed you today when on Linda's channel. We had no one to drop links because Linda didn't know how to do them. So she said, we'll have to wait until Sunday when Lisa's back and she can drop the channels. So, yeah. How are you? Had a bit of problem I did getting online today. I scheduled it and then I didn't know how to get on. Oh, you watched the replay? Ah, you were working. Fair enough too. Well, work has to come before play, doesn't it? I mean, you know. But it's funny because I was trying to sort of explain to Linda how if you click on the three dots next to a person's name, you know, you can select to go to their channel and then you copy them their link and, you know, and all the rest of it. And she was like, no, I don't think I'll do that. We'll do it Sunday. She said, I don't think I'll bother. It'll take too long. We thought, fair enough. But yeah. Yeah, it's very quiet. I was expecting a few more people in today. Because I'm sitting in someone else's spot. He's got family over. So I was really expecting the people that sort of went to visit her coming here. But yeah. Yeah, really works, you know. I was really surprised when I got my first moderator thing to find the those three dots give you a lot more options. And one of the options is just going to their page to get that link, and I thought that was really good. Well, this is interesting. I've just realised I've got the chat on the screen where I am, and also the chat on... I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm using Streamlab, which is not one of the usual ones that I use. But, yeah. I have no idea. Well, maybe that's what happened actually, because I think I did tick the box that said to display the chat on the replay. So maybe that's why the chat is on the actual screen where I am. Like it's coming, hang on, which side? This side or this side? Hang on. I've got to wait for the... No, okay, so it's not this side. Hang on. Oh, there's such a delay. Okay, so it's this side. So it'll be up on this side, the chat. So that's quite cool. Maybe that's why, because I ticked the little box that said have the chat on the live replay. But that sometimes that just comes, that usually just brings up the chat box. I don't know. I really don't understand half of this stuff. I just, cross my fingers and hope for the best. Yeah, I think you probably do. I went in, when I looked at the live on the, in the, my channel content, there was a little edit button or something, or it said, yeah, it was edit, and hi Casey, and in there one of the options was it had live chat and then it had chat on replay, and I ticked both. The live chat was already ticked, but I ticked the one beneath and saved it. So yeah. How's it going, Casey? What are you up to? Look what I'm doing. I'm using, this is the Red Hearts all-in-one granny square yarn, and look what it's doing. Look how it's pulling. Isn't that interesting? So yeah, quite impressed with that, because oh, my cardi colours are absolutely insane. It was literally a scrap cardi. I started off making a scrapped blanket, and I can't, oh hang on, is it visible? I might be able to lift it up. Yeah. This is the base, and I started off making a blanket with the Catherine's wheel, and I got so far, and then I thought, hey, that's probably wide enough to wrap around me. Maybe if I stop there and just make a hexicadi and put that on the bottom of the hexicadi for a bit of extra length, and that's what I did. But yeah, it's quite cold. What is it here? It's 5 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know, 40 degrees Fahrenheit? Yeah, a bit like 70s. But I don't know if I was talking to anybody or not when I said this before, so I'm going to say it again. Now, this is the Red Heart Granny Square yarn. This is my one and only attempt. I did it. I actually, because I was sitting here doing this, and I had a few balls of a few balls of this yarn, and I thought, you know what I've never tried to do with the all-in-one granny square, and that is make a granny square. So I started, and I did the first 2 rows, and they were perfect, and I thought, hang on, this is too good. I'm going to have to unravel it and do it again and record it. So I recorded it, and I had to unravel one side. So the first 2 rows were perfect. The 3rd row, I had to unravel one side once, take a single crochet, a chain out of the corner, and then I went and finished it, and it was fine. The second last row, the same thing. I just had to unravel one side only, remove one chain from the corner, redo it, and it was fine. The last round, I had to unravel the last side twice, but then I got it. And I left the sides unsewn in so you can see just how little I had left, and that's how much I sort of started with. But I didn't follow the instructions on the band. I did the 4 chain in the middle, which was on the band. I didn't do any chain between my clusters, and I only did 2 chain in the corners instead of the 3 that they said. Well, Lisa, this is what I kept looking at the yarn and kept thinking, how hard can it be? But I know how hard it can be because so many people have tried it and they've been pulling their hair out. So I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to pick this up and do it without any problems. But I did. And I was just amazed. And I thought, well, clearly I matched the tension of the person who wrote the pattern or, did the original square on it because, yeah. But I'd never do it again. I mean, in the sense of, I've done it once, I've succeeded, I'm not going to do it ever again. But I do have a video of it to prove it that I did it. It took me 17 minutes to do one square. So I don't know whether that's good or bad. I think it probably did. And that's what I sort of kept thinking. And I mean, a lot of people were starting with a magic loop rather than the 4 chain. And the other thing I noticed that what people were doing when they had, no problem, Casey, when they had too much yarn, when they didn't have enough yarn, which was my problem each time, I didn't have enough yarn. I never had too much yarn, I just never had enough. Instead of reducing the number of chain that they were doing, they would try and adjust their tension, which I didn't do. I just kept my tension the same and just took out chains, and that worked for me. Yeah, you can, but see, with the chains, you can still do a magic loop. What I do, hi Barbara, thanks for coming in, good to see you. What I do is I always crochet over the end, not to hide the end, but if you crochet over the end when you do a chain start and then pull on the end, it still brings in all the stitches, but you've got the strength of a 4 chain start rather than a magic loop. And so you can still get a really small or non-existent hole with doing chains and not magic loops, if you can understand what I've just, yeah. But yeah, I can't remember when I think I scheduled that video for today, and that'll be out, I think, in about an hour and 45 minutes or something. So yeah, and that's the best way, isn't it, Lisa? Because I think it really does give strength to, you know that even if that pulling together is going to fail, it's going to just spring back to the actual chain of 4, and it's not going to come apart. Yeah, that's what I've done ever since I saw someone else do that. I can't remember who it was, and I thought, that's just pure genius. That is just, that works for me, and I'm happy with that. But I'll do the magic ring when I'm doing amigurumi, because you do need that to be really tight and stay tight, otherwise you have stuffing coming out. But yeah, it is 6:15 a.m. so I've been up pretty much most of the night again. I think I woke up at about 10 p.m. or something. Yeah, if you don't do the plushies, you don't need to, exactly. You do not need the magic loop, I don't think, when you're just doing normal granny squares or whatever. I think, having a little gap there in the middle of the granny square doesn't hurt the granny square in any way, in my opinion. But I do not like this yarn. It's too thick. I think if they did an all-in-one granny square in an 8-ply, which is 3-weight for the US, and they had added an extra couple of rows and did it in the rainbow colours, I would use that. I would try that and see how that went, because that would look really good. And I don't know why they haven't done it in the rainbow colours. I really don't. because I think everyone would want to do that. Everyone would buy that. But obviously if you add 2 more rows, I think 7 colours in the rainbow, it would just be really a very large square, and maybe it's too big, and that's why they would need to come down in to a 3-way, I think. Oh, I need my file. Yeah. Hello, Coco. Oh, not Coco, Litsa. What are you doing up so early? I mean, I'm up early, that's fine, but yeah. Coco is actually Litsa. Coco is the name of her dog, who she named her channel after. But, I mean, look at the way this is the all-in-one granny square yarn, and that's how it's pooling for this blanket. I think it's amazing. You know, I'm really pleased with that. Nice rows. The other one I finished. Where's the other one? I finished the other one I was making. I can't show you all of it because it's so big, but I can show you the top half. Like, that's half of it. And that'll go to Kogo. Oh, thanks, Litsa. Yeah, it's, I love that. This is the Lime brand Mandala in Gnome. And I really do love that colour. I've lost other bits now. But yeah, so that's one baby blanket for Kogo. And this one, when I get this done, will be the second one. And then I'll get my dad to take them down and drop them off at the, there's a place near us that, it's the, I think you mentioned the shop, let's say, it was the, Little Yarn Works, is it? Or Little, Hi Chris, thanks for joining us. I can't remember. It's in Hastings, which isn't too far from me. I'm literally just 5 minutes from the shop. Little Yarn Makes, I think that's what they call themselves. They actually collect for Kogo, or they used to. So I've got to check, make sure that they still do, and that sort of thing. No, I don't do them very often, Lisa, because there's just so many people who go online at the same time as I want to go online. And I've been saying to another Lisa friend of mine, and said to her, it's really hard because you don't want to step on anyone's toes, but on the same token, sometimes you might have to in order to just get out there. Hi, Dawn. So glad you... Oh, yeah. Good to see you. Glad you came. Thank you. But I'm sort of keeping VJ spot warm. VJ from VJ's Crochet. She usually does an hour and 15 minutes on Fridays for, you know, and she does FOs. She shows everyone's FOs that they put on her Facebook group. So I thought, I'll keep her spot warm. And, you know, and it gives me a slot to sort of, piggyback onto, sort of, so to speak. But, yeah. And, and then everyone, people that normally would watch VJ, I thought, can come perhaps and watch me instead. And then, I fill in that blank between, I can't remember the last person who was on, between someone and Granny D, who comes on shortly. Yeah, I think you do, Lisa. You've got to, oh, thank you. Yep, don't forget your thumbs up. I think sometimes you've just got to, so what I've been usually doing is just doing pop-ups. And this is only probably my 5th live since I started in early September. So I'm not sort of like doing regular lives. I think I'd like to, because I think once you, establish a day or a couple of days that you're doing it and keep doing it, then people get used to that, and then they keep coming, hopefully, if they like what they see. Yeah, well, I didn't actually ask BJ. I forgot to ask BJ about it, and yeah, but I don't think she'll mind me sort of keeping her spot warm. Have a great day. Have a great day, Litsa. Great. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, I think, it's good to sort of, try and help each other out while, if you can. But, yeah. So the beginning of this video on the replay is going to be just me fumbling, trying to work out what's going on. Because I did put up a scheduled live, but then I couldn't get that scheduled live to start. It's just me. I know it's me. So I need to work out what I did wrong there. So there's I think there's 10 minutes at the beginning of this where I'm recording, but it's not live because I've got it unlisted because I had to do a second live to come on. But it was unlisted, so then I had to figure out how to make it. Oh, nightmare. Yeah, yeah. But that was when I used Streamlab, which is an app for the phone. And normally if I'm using Streamlab, I'm going live straight away. I haven't scheduled with that. But what I should have done was scheduled on YouTube and did it that way, because I've done it that way before. And that worked well for me, but the Streamlab didn't, because I didn't know how to get back to that scheduled one. So I had to cancel the scheduled one and start another one. But I'll get there. I mean, you're going to have hiccups. Everyone's going to have hiccups. And when they're starting this sort of thing, and it's a learning curve. We'll get there. So, yeah. What am I looking for? Oh dear. Now Litsa was talking about the other day, she was making a retro temperature blanket where, what was it for? The year she was born? I think it was for the year she was born. Yeah, we missed you. We're on the last live. No Canada answers to anything. And I've been thinking about doing a temperature blanket for the first time ever, and I've never really liked the idea of them. But I thought, I've got my grandson who is due on the 18th of May. And I thought he's going to be in the UK for the first year probably or more of his life. And then I thought, well, what if I did a sort of temperature blanket which was half of the temperatures from where he's living, the UK, and then the other half being the temperatures in Australia where I'm living. And I've got these beads, pony beads, and I thought I could add beads. I thought white beads could indicate snow, clear beads could indicate rain, and yellow beads could indicate really sunny day. And then I was thinking, but what could I use for cloudy day? I don't know. But I don't want to do just a plain stripes temperature blanket. I want to do perhaps little squares. Somehow I want to do maybe even oblongs where half of it is the UK and the other half is Australia. I don't know. I've got to work out something. But I thought that might be cute. And then he can see the lovely weather he's missed out on by being stuck in England for the first possibly 2 years of his life. I can't remember how long he's expected to be there for. There's lots of people hiding, I can see. being very, very quiet. Don't be afraid to say hello. Grey beads. Do I have any grey beads? I don't think I have grey. I have black. I have black, I think. So that might work. That's fine. Thanks, Lisa. They, I think they're all too shy to come in, she says with a laugh. But, you know, I've got 2 cats. And people who have cats often say that their cats are trying to kill them because they trip them up and whatnot. And no, you're not that shy, neither am I. Hi, Michael. That's okay, that's perfectly fine. How long till Craig goes live? You know, like how many hours? Don't give me a time because I won't know. But if you're still here to answer that, I'd appreciate to know so that I can look for it. But my cats are definitely trying to kill me. The Tunisian king is in the house, yeah. They're trying to kill, well, one of them is trying to kill me. She's trying to gas me to death. I'm sure she is. Okay. Thanks, Michael. Because he hasn't scheduled anything. I did check, but he hasn't scheduled. Hi, Jules. 3.5 hours. 17. Great, thank you. That gives me 10 a.m. and I should still be awake by then, because I don't want to miss that one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Craig from Fiber Spider is going live in 3.5 hours approximately, and you don't want to miss that one because he has a very special guest. Well, I know how to schedule. I scheduled this one, but then I couldn't get into it to make it work. So I had to cancel that one and start a new one and just go live. So, yeah, I might have to end up doing what Craig is doing and just sort of, not schedule them. Hi, Trish. Thanks for popping in. And Jules is here as well. Got home from shopping. Did you buy grocery shopping or, something nice like yarn shopping? Yep, spider fiber. Spider fiber, fiber spider. Did I say fiber? Spider fiber? No, hang on. It's fiber spider, isn't it? Oh, God, Trish. Well, it's no wonder with the weather you've been having. I mean, storms blowing a gale and trying to blow your house over and whatnot. Is it just like the flu or a cold, or is it something really icky and horrible? Hello, Breezy. I don't think I know your name. And maybe you don't like having people use your actual name. But if you want to tell us, I'd be more than happy to try and remember it for next time. Oh, groceries. Iced coffees. Oh, yum. Oh, steamed pudding. Great. Of course, the only problem with you showing me a steamed pudding is I'm going to want a steamed pudding. Yeah. My mum's terrible. Whenever she makes things like steamed puddings, I always say to her, oh, can we have cream with that? And she's like, no. And I say, oh, you're lurking. Let's all make sure we don't get Breezy into trouble. She says, no, you can't have cream with that. And I'm like, well, why can't I have cream with my... Yeah, I know what you mean, Trish. Living alone, you don't get sick because you've got no one to give you the diseases. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, puddings. Yeah, she wouldn't let me have cream because she'd say, no, it's already fattening enough. You're not having cream as well. And I used to say to her, but you've got to have cream, Mum, on treacle tart or treacle pudding because, it cuts through the sweetness. But she never let me have it. So, yeah. Steam pudding. Oh. And that's also, you can, was it spotted dick? Which is like steam pudding with raisins or something. Exactly. You've got to go hard or go home. If you're not going to have all the trimmings with it, you may as well not bother. It's like having a Christmas dinner. Custard, you're a custard lover? My daughter used to love custard. And then she went vegan. So she has vegan custard, but she doesn't like it quite as much. Currants and a touch of lemon. I mean, I used to think, where did they come up with that name? And I dread to think. I'm sure if I googled it, it would tell me. It's a steamed pudding, Chris, and like you get the pudding basins, which are like just really deep bowls, and it's just like almost like a cake mixture, but so it's flour, egg, and milk, and all that sort of thing. And at the bottom of the basin, you usually put a load of treacle, or you can put maple syrup if you don't have treacle. Some people put honey. Sometimes people put jam, like a raspberry jam or whatever. And then you put all the mixture, the cakey mixture, on top of that, and then you seal the pot, pudding basin, whatever you want to call it, and you steam it for like 3 hours. So you put it in, with water and steam it. And then when you turn it upside down and take it out, all the treacle from the top comes, treacle is it's a bit like maple syrup or molasses, but it's really, really sweet. And it's not as thick as molasses, if that helps. But yeah, it's a bit like golden syrup or honey, but it's a lot sweeter and a lot thinner. It runs a lot easier. But it's really nice. I love it. But like I say, you can put the steamed pudding, you can have anything on the top, or you put it on the bottom, and when you turn it out, it's on the top. Sorghum. I don't know what sorghum is, so I don't know. Anybody who knows what both sorghum and treacle is, please let us know. Is it the same thing? Or similar? But, yeah. Sorghum. I'm very tempted to go and Google that, but I won't, because then I'll get lost and not be able to come back. VJ would call that a field trip, but I can't do field trips because I don't know how to share my screen, because I've got no idea what I'm doing half the time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find out what sorghum is. But yeah, it's really sweet. I love this stuff. But hence you need I think you really need cream to break through that sweetness. Oh dear. I show my new hook. I got this the other day. It's an Ophire 7mm. It's got see that little ridge there? It's not meant to be a thumb grip, but it actually helps, and it's a bit like a thumb grip for me. Well, there you go. It's a form of inverted sugar. I don't know what inverted sugar means. You tip the sugar out? I don't know. One thing I know about molasses is that during the it must have been during the war, the Second War, or maybe it was the First War. Anyway, they had treacle, and treacle was used. Molasses, and molasses was a component that was put in some sort of artillery, I think, and they had this big vat, like huge, like a water tower, filled with molasses in, I want to say Chicago or Boston, but it was probably somewhere else. Anyway, the treacle vat, it broke, and it had literally tens of thousands of gallons of molasses, and people actually were drowned in molasses in this instance, and horses died, and what a way to go. I'm pretty sure, Lisa, that it does have an actual crack. Let me show you, and you can see the line, you can see what I mean, but it's only like on the inner part. So if you, can you see the line? It's like almost like a white line. It's all the way across the top of the head, and you can sort of see it just here. Now, I had a hook that did that, and it eventually broke, but it was after my cat bit the head off. Yeah, you can see the white line, but you can't feel it on the outside. So, I'm hoping that it's just either a colour feature. Hi, Zoila. Zoila's here. Zoila, the queen of moderators. Has to be a moderator for me too. Mrs. C, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. I'm just showing people my new hooks I got from Ofire. Some pretty ones. Pretty sparkly. And where's the container for that one? Yeah. Whoops. Oh dear. And this one I'm using. This is a 7mm. But I'm using it with Red Heart all-in-one granny yarn. And it's coming out quite nice because I'm making a blanket. And it's pooling really, really nicely. Like sort of in the stripes. I quite like it. I'm making a baby blanket with it. Oh, hi Myra. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I had to, everyone has Zoila as a moderator, so, she has to be mine too. Isn't it? It's come out, I'm really sort of surprised, and it is a cool effect, but, back to bragging for those new ones that have just popped in. Red Heart, Granny Square, did it. First complete shot. I did the first 2 rows, perfect, unravelled it, put my camera on to film it, and I did the whole square. And it turned out. I was amazed. Yeah, Ofire ships to Australia. The problem being the postage cost. But I accidentally ordered it. I didn't order it on purpose. What happened was, I thought the prices in the Ofire shop were in US dollars. So I thought if I just keep pressing next on the sales option, eventually it'll come up and it'll tell me, the PayPal will pop up and say, these hooks are this amount in Australian dollars, and then I'll know what I'm spending. Except I pushed forward too many times and it bought them. And the postage was as much as a hook. And I think a lot of the postage was like 39 Australian dollars, which if you halve that, that's what the US dollars is. You accidentally ordered because I influenced you. I became an influencer. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. It's got to be either the Australian dollar has fallen off and gone down, or the US dollar's fallen off and gone down, or whatever. I don't know how exchange rates work. But it used to be that if I looked at the Australian amount, say if the Australian amount was $30, then I knew that the US amount was $20, because the US amount seemed to be 2/3 of the Australian amount. But now it's back down to half again. So, yeah, that's a bit of a pain. But, them's the breaks. But, if Mrs. C's here, I've got to show her my other baby blanket, because she wouldn't have seen it. Sorry for those who've already seen it a million times. But I did this one, Mrs. C, Lion Brand, Mandala, Gnome, in the Gnome colorway. Love the color. Yeah, I usually don't use this type of head either, Mrs. C. I usually use like the clover hooks, but I really don't mind either. I can use either, and I don't seem to have too much of a problem when I use either. So yeah, it's not like I can't crochet with only one type of head, which I guess is a good thing for me. Oh, thank you, Zoila. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this second baby blanket done for the charity soon, so I can send my dad up with both those blankets and get them off to the Kogo charity here, and yeah. Have I missed anybody? I don't think I will possibly have. Yeah, it's funny how we all, some people sort of have a preference and other people don't really have a preference, and they just use, whatever's to hand. I'm really enjoying this 7mm one though. And like I say, normally for the Red Heart all-in-one granny, you would use like a 5 or a 5.5. Well, I used a 5 when I did the square, which turned out really well for me. Beginner's luck probably. But using a 7 at the moment on this, and I'm doing half double crochets, and I just think it's coming out really quite pretty. It's not how I expected it to sort of come out, but it's sort of, it's different anyway, and I get to use all the granny square yarn that I'm not going to use to make squares. I don't normally like this sort of thickness of yarn. I'm much more of a 4-ply person, or a fingering weight, or what do you call it? You call it a 2-weight, I think, in the US. Oh yeah, I'm with you there, Jules, but it doesn't seem to affect me too much, my hands. My hands are going to be bad whatever I do, whatever yarn I use, whatever hook I use or whatever. I just have to take breaks and switch between knitting and crochet. I find that helps me an awful lot by switching projects. Now, if you don't know Jules Crafts, you've got to add her. She has a celebration going at the moment, but you have to be a subscriber and you have to watch her latest video. So please add her. And I haven't scheduled the live yet, Jules, because I'm still waiting to hear from you as to when you want to do it. But this is what we're going to be doing this month. Thank you, Zoila. Knew you'd get that done. And what it is, at the back of the book, there's all these flip pages. So you've got the cuffs, the leg of the sock, and the foot, and they flip. So there's like, all these different cuffs. And so it's like mitts and, how we used to have books like this when we were kids, and they would be people, and you could make really funny looking people. And, you'd have a baker with a, I don't know, with a jester hat on or something stupid like that. Well, anyway, we're gonna do socks, and we're calling them the Flipping Adventure Socks because we're using a flip book, and it's going to be an adventure because we won't know what we're getting. And on our first video, which I suspect will be Wednesday US time, so look out for it. But we'll pick our sock, we'll pick a different cuff, leg and toe, and then that's the sock we're going to make for the month, or try to make for the month. And also Stephen West, I'm still going to try. Last month, April, I didn't make any socks, and I've been trying. One of my New Year's goals was to make one pair of socks a month, and last month I failed, and that was just because there was a lot going on. It's a great book, Zoila. I love flip books like this. There's actually 8,000 combinations. Now, Lala or Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming, she's got a flip book which is hats, and it's the same sort of thing. You've got the crown of the hat, the body of the hat, and then the ribbing of the hat. And her book has got I think it's 10,000 combinations. Obviously there's more flip pages than I've got here. And she did one hat, and she's like, I don't know if I'm going to do any more. I don't know. But yeah, I love it. It just takes the boredom out of making something. You sort of, especially if you take out and you make it all random. They are great books. Yeah, well, you'll have to go and have a look at Laura's videos, Zoila. Ages ago, I think she pulled numbers out of a tub to pick the top of the hat, the body, and the base. But the crochet book is called 10,000 Crochet Hats or something like that. So if you put that into Amazon, you will find it. And, I just love the idea of those sorts of books because you just get wacky combinations, and that's what, makes it more fun. Crochet should be about fun, and knitting too should be about fun. So, fun. But what else was I going to show? I was going to show you something else. What was I going to show you? Oh. Now, when Lisa was here earlier, and she's still here, I was talking about doing a blanket for my grandson who's due on the 18th of May. And Lisa's already given me her feedback, and she thinks it's an okay idea, good idea. I'm going to do a temperature blanket for my grandson for his first year of life. But what I thought I'd do... Hi Casey, thank you for coming back. For what I thought I might do is I'll have half of the blanket as the temperatures in the UK where he's probably going to be living. You think it's an excellent idea, Lisa. I didn't want to put words into your mouth. I couldn't remember if you said it was good or great or whatever. And I thought, I'm not putting words into her mouth. I'll underplay it. And I thought if I do, because he's going to live the first year or maybe even 2 in the UK. So I thought I'm going to do half the blanket in the UK temperatures and then half the blanket in the Australian temperatures. And yet beads, as Lisa's just mentioned, beads. I'm going to add beads, white beads for if it snows, clear beads if it rains, yellow beads for really sunny days. And then Lisa said because I couldn't think of what to add for cloudy days, and Lisa said, what about grey? But I don't think I've got grey in the collection of beads that I have, so I might have to put use black instead, or see if I can buy some grey ones. I'm sure there's pony beads out there which are grey, but I thought, you know, I don't know whether to do little squares, or I don't want to do row by row. I think that looks a little bit too boring for, you know, a temperature blanket. So I thought if I do, you know, a little, there'd have to be really tiny squares, I don't know. Black would be good for a thunderstorm day, yep. I mean, I don't want to, I mean, I've only got, I've not got a huge number of beads, but, you know, I don't need to put a lot of beads in it. Like if I was doing a row, you'd probably want to do them every 2 or 3 stitches. But if I'm just doing a little granny square, I could get away with just 3 or 4 in the round, indicating that it was a rainy day or a sunny day or whatever, along with the temperature colour, which obviously I have to sort of pick as well. So, oh, no problem, Chris. Thanks for coming back. I'm really grateful that you keep coming back. It's good, you know. Yeah. But, yeah, so... Oh, yep, go watch the raffle. I think, when was that? I thought that was a bit earlier. Let us know who wins, Mrs. C. She's probably gone already. Because in 7 minutes we've got Granny D. So we'll do a little Granny D raid like we normally do. Thank you, Zoila. I'm hoping the same great idea for my baby blanket for my grandson. Obviously, with it having beads on, I don't want to put too many beads on. I'm going to probably want to make it at least a single bed size. But I don't want to put too many beads on because I don't want it to become a weighted blanket. And obviously, it will have to stay here because I'm not posting it to the UK, not with current postal prices. So, yeah. But we'll head off over to Granny D's in a little while and say hello. And I might have to edit this video because the first 10 minutes of it, it's me going, I don't know what I'm doing, literally, because I didn't know what I was doing, trying to find, you know, what to do. Yeah, I mean, it's great if you're making a weighted blanket for, you know, kids with sensory issues. I think if I were you know, doing it when my son was younger, I would have made him a weighted blanket. Being autistic, I think he would have really got a lot out of having that extra weight. Because who was that writer? Female writer, she talked about pressure and squeezing for autistics. Oh, I can see the name, but I can't. Second word name started with G, and she was an autistic woman, and what she actually invented was these clamps for cows who were being slaughtered in the abattoirs, because she deemed that if you clamped the cow, it was like a hug. It relaxed them so that the meat was going to be better quality. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a gross topic. But she invented that through the other invention where she deemed that autistic kids do like being hugged on their terms, but often they like the weight. So a weighted blanket is great. You know, putting pressure on themselves. That's okay. Thank you for popping by, Zach. Love to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in. You don't want to be at work. You never want to be at work, but who does? If work was fun, we'd call it fun. We wouldn't call it work, right? Yeah, weighted blankets, Casey, are great. I think, you know. Hi, Ivy. No, that's okay, Ivy. I'm really grateful that you showed up. Because I was really worried in the first few minutes, because I was really worried for the first 10 minutes no one was going to show up. And then I realized that I didn't go public with it. I was recording, but it wasn't public. Temple Graydon, thank you, Casey. That is the woman. She invented the squeezy thing for the cows. Yeah. So, but yeah, autistic kids like a cuddle, just like anybody else. Don't let the people tell you that they don't. They just like it under their terms. My son would come home and he would go straight into his bedroom and he would go under his covers and he would sort of be there for like 30 minutes. And then he would come out and he would be ready, like de-stressed from the day. And then he would come out and he would be ready to, talk to me about his day if he wanted to and that sort of thing. So, yeah. But, and Ivy, if you've got, Ivy has done this brilliant. And I'm just blew my mind. Her Hexie garden shirt, whatever she wants to call it, they are brilliant. I'm sure you've seen them. She's got a few shorts showing them. And she might be doing a cow for us. Oh no, you're going down. Oh my goodness, how dare you infiltrate my space. Hi, Laura. Yeah. Actually, I haven't got my yarn yet, Laura. It's really bad. I'm not going to have my yarn until the end of next week. So I'm going to be so far behind. But I do know what I'm making, so that helps. Oh, dear. I mean, the queen of the madness has come. Yeah, so... You too, Mara. Thank you for popping in. I think it's almost time. A couple of minutes. And then Granny D starts. So we should probably think about... heading over to there. Yep, that's Jules' link again. I didn't have the right colours. I was missing one colour, and so I thought I'll get it all. I'll get 10-ply yarn instead, so I can make it really big. But thank you, Zach. But you've got to pick the best one. We keep saying that you've got to pick the best one. But I'm going to be the best one, let's face it, she says. But anyway, you can join the raid. You should, Lisa. See more people. Et tu, Brutus? Yes. Poor Lala. All right, I'm going to say goodbye if I can find the off button, because let's face it, it took me 10 minutes to find out that I wasn't even public. So goodness knows if I'm going to figure out how to turn this thing off. So... go over to Granny D while I fumble around trying to find where I'm switching how to end this. And yeah, tell her it's a Sam streak. That's what we're going to call them. Sam streaks. We're streaking. And I'm going to try and find how to... Oh, there's a big red button that says stop. That helps, doesn't it? All right. Bye, everybody. Take care. And thank you very much for visiting me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun.